Hey everybody, it's Ian Koniak, and I want to wish you guys a happy holiday season. Whatever you celebrate, now is the time to enjoy moments with your family and friends, quality time, and reflect upon what you want for the next year. There are three main sources, I believe, for happiness in life. The first is growth. The second is connection. And the third is contribution or service or purpose or feeling like you're making an impact. And you nail those things above and beyond the basics like food, shelter, and love, you're gonna have a pretty fulfilling life. So today we're gonna talk about growth, which is one of the pillars for success and happiness, is that we feel that we are going somewhere, we are setting goals, and we are on a mission to achieve those goals. When we don't have goals, when we don't have ambition, a lot of times we'll feel stagnant. When we feel stagnant, we get anxious, we get depressed, we get bored, we get anxiety, and it's just not a good feeling. So what I try and do to make sure that I'm always pushing myself and always striving to be the best version of myself is I'm always setting new goals. And now's the time to do that as we think about a new year. 2020 was a rough year for many of us. It was a year of growth. It was a year of reflection. And now the question is, what do we do with it in 2021? So I want to talk about how I set goals. And the first thing I'll say is I used to set goals that were just career-oriented and money-oriented. Now my goals are broader than that. So I'm going to talk about the buckets of goals that I have. And the first is health and wellness. And I'll give you a few examples of these. The second bucket is home. The third is career. The fourth bucket is service. And the fifth bucket is family. Now these are in no particular order, not by prioritized, but these buckets are super important to be able to make sure that you have balance in life. And for me, that's what I'm all about, balance. I shared this openly in many previous episodes, many previous videos, but I didn't have balance before. I was all about the money and the performance. And while it got me to a great position being number one, it didn't give me fulfillment. Got my bank account pretty fulfilled, which does give a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunity to go do things you want and make investments and whatnot, but it doesn't fill your soul. And so if you follow an approach like this, these are designed to fill your soul, things that fill your soul. So I'm gonna just share a little of my goals, and you gotta do this. I'd encourage everyone to do this for yourself and make it your own. But the first is just to work out 4 days a week, okay? And that's really simple for me. It's 20 minutes on the bike or 20 minutes running or doing push-ups. I try and mix it up, but exercise is a foundation for energy. And when we feel good, especially if we do it in the morning, we carry that energy with us the rest of the day. The second is run a half marathon. And for me, I've been a runner. I've been kind of doing 3 to 5 miles-ish usually. This is going to be pushing it. So I want to run a half marathon by the end of the year. The second bucket is home. And home is all about home improvement for our family. If you don't own a home, maybe the goal could be about buying a home or investing in some properties. But for me, we have our dream home. So now it's like making it beautiful. So what do we want to do? Well, I want to finish my office, my home office. It's kind of a mess right now, but I want to make it a lot nicer, make it more of a Zen-like space that encourages creativity and it feels open. Right now, it's just kind of cluttered. The second thing we want to do is new furniture for the living room. My wife has been all over me on that. We just haven't done it. So we made a ton of home improvements. We put a pool in a backyard, so much stuff this past year. So now it's just getting the home fine-tuned, getting it to a place that we want it. Very simple stuff, but I want to look back at the end of the year and say, did I do these things or not, right? And that's the idea behind these. Set some big goals, and it could be a one-time thing, like buy living room furniture. It could be ongoing things like work out 4 days a week. But the idea is that you are setting goals that you actually can execute, not something that's pie in the sky ambition, but something you know you can do. Now, for career, for me, it's simple. It's overachieve in Salesforce, which I'm on track to do. I'm right there for my $1 million goal that I had 12 weeks ago. Need about 150K more, but I'm right there. But I need to overachieve plan for the remainder of the fiscal. And what I also want to do is build my course. I'm going to be launching an online sales course from soup to nuts, from the prospecting to closing to negotiation. It's a big project. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I want to build that and get it launched this year, okay? Service is about community service, okay? That's not just like volunteering, but it's like, how can you serve others? How can you be assistance to people in need? The Bible tells us to do that, about serving the weak. It also talks about, I say the weak, I mean people who need help. I don't mean they're weak. I just mean people that could use your help. It could be mentoring. It could be volunteering at a children's hospital. It could be giving money to feed the homeless or people in less fortunate circumstances that can't eat. But I want to be of service to more people. So something I want to do is take on another sponsee for addiction recovery. I have one right now, but I want to take on another person, and that's really helping them, with overcoming whatever addiction that they're struggling with. It's the same kind of things that you have to do regardless of what your vice is to overcome. And I've been, for the most part, tackling that this year, and I want to be of service to help others do the same thing. And the second key area on this, service is I want to feed hungry people. And that sounds super generic, but I haven't been, okay? We're fortunate where we can order food online or go out to eat on a regular basis. We don't have to worry about food, but a lot of people do. And I've been reading articles, and certainly in parts of the world and in our country, a lot of people are struggling to eat right now. And I definitely want to make sure that we do our part to contribute. The last piece is family, right? So family, I'd say, is the most important. At least for me, it is. I would add faith on here as a sixth bucket as well, depending on your faith, or spirituality, right? Depending on what you believe, that might be another bucket. But the family component for me is going back on paternity leave, which I need to do because my son's school's canceled and my other son's 4 months, and my wife needs help. And I took leave for a while, but my company actually gives up to 6 months, and I'm going to take the full 6 months and put my money where my mouth is and prioritize my family. So going back on paternity leave, and also just making sure I leave the weekends open for my family. When you run a side business, when you're working in sales, a lot of times you'll take that home with you, and I know I certainly do. So making sure I'm fully present on the weekends with my family, knowing that I'm busy as can be during the week, right? Use that time to bond and connect. And faith and spirituality, again, this could be meditation, it could be prayer, it could be Bible study, it could be anything that you want it to be. For me, it's just continue going to church every week with my wife. That's something we do every Sunday. And it's also daily prayer. Now, I have bigger ambitions to read the whole Bible and to connect with other Christian men that are, really focused on fulfilling their missions and also fulfilling God's mission. But that's bigger for now than what I'm willing to take on. So when you're doing these goal settings, think about what you can take on. Notice I put half a marathon versus a whole marathon. I don't want to take on a whole marathon. I don't want to read the Bible this year. I got a lot of stuff. If I'm going to build a course, that's enough. If I'm going to perform at my job, that's enough. If I'm going to be with my family, that's enough. So be mindful of taking on too much. And the key in goal setting is that you always know where you're going. When you set your North Star, it doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a clear, exact vision of where you're going, but you certainly want to have a baseline in the buckets that are most important. So health and wellness, home, career, service, family, and faith and spirituality. Those are my buckets. Make your own buckets. And I wish you the very best. If we don't know where we're going, we're going to flounder and we're going to float around. But when we set our sails in the direction, then we can cruise and we can go make progress every day. I'm Ian Koniak. Have a great 2021.